Have you seen that girl?
Yeah, she knows she bad.
She got me crash and burn.
Hold up.
My dog wants to say hello. Enter. You don't need anybody. You just need a poopy.
Love me.
Hi. We're gonna talk about long distance. I miss Benny too. He does actually. Hi. So some of you may know I just filmed a Korean makeup tutorial, which you should definitely check out. I'm so sorry. I've been drinking this nani tea, which I've talked about in my Korean makeup tutorial. But seriously, it's like the best tea ever, and it's like really good for you, and some magical fruit. But it's just really good tea, and I think it tastes like rice tea, and I love rice tea. It's good, but I keep drinking it and drinking and refilling it, and I just have to pee all day. So check it out. It's nani tea. It's very good. Today I wanted to talk about something actually I've been going through for 2 months now. I know a lot of couples who are going through the same thing, and it's really hard. So I wanted to make a video for me and for other couples, because you know what? We can do this. We can get through it. We just gotta tough it out. When I have a problem that I want to deal with by myself, I usually turn to YouTube. YouTube has everything. What I've noticed is there's not a lot of videos about long distance, and the ones that they have aren't that great. Usually they're just pros and cons of long distance, and seriously, for me, there are no pros. All those videos don't really make me feel better or teach me how to deal with anything. So because I've been going through this, I know it's only been 2 months, but from here on, it kind of is going to be the same. My boyfriend and I have kind of developed a coping mechanism. My boyfriend has dealt with a lot of loss in his life, and he's moved around a lot, so he's kind of used to this, which is good, but also kind of hard for me because I've never dealt with anything like this before. It's my first time doing all this. It's my first time with a boyfriend. It's my first time being in love. It's scary, and it's uncharted territory. So for me, I'm going through this a lot harder than he is. And also, he's the type of person who understands the situation, knows how to solve it, and then moves on with his life. I'm the type of person who knows all that, but I still worry about it, and I have a lot of emotion. The other night when my boyfriend and I were Skyping, I asked him to create a little list for me, and I put it in my little book, and we were trying to figure out different things that I should talk about. So when you're preparing for the other person to leave, or you just start doing long distance, the most important thing for you to do is trust each other. Before anything in your entire relationship, you have to trust each other, because you're together for however long before you're separated, and then you're independent, and there's all these other people that can infest and destroy your relationship. And if you don't trust your partner, you're gonna freak out. Like, I trust Benny so much. He has lots of female friends, but I trust my boyfriend more than anything. My boyfriend has lots of girlfriends, and he's very appealing to girls, which I can understand because he's just a very sweet, understanding guy who will literally sit and listen to you cry for hours and not say anything. So I understand the appeal for other girls to be attracted to him, and also he's not bad looking, so I understand. I got it. But when you're at home and your boyfriend's out there in the world with all these other women, yeah, I get it. It's hard. It's weird. It's very weird. Yeah, you have to trust them. Not even just in that aspect. You have to trust that they will know when something is wrong, or when they shouldn't do something, or when they should do something. You have to trust them and give them the benefit of the doubt that they will know, or they will do their best to accommodate to your feelings. Preparing. You have to have the talk. The talk sucks. When my boyfriend told me that he would be going away for university, we had only been dating for 2 months. Now, at that point, I was thinking, I should get out of this now. It's gonna hurt later. I'm gonna get more invested in this guy. It's gonna suck when he leaves. I should just end it. But unfortunately, and I'm grateful for this, he turned out to be the most perfect guy for me. So after I gave it some thought, and I realized that it's really not worth not giving it a shot, and I know how cliche it is, but you will miss 100% of the chances you do not take. If I did not take a chance with this guy, I would have missed the opportunity to spend the most beautiful and amazing year and a half of my life. Even if it sucks, you have to have this talk. You have to do it as early as possible so you can prepare for it and know what to expect and talk about what you're going to do in the future. Even if we were only dating for 2 months, I was not 100% sure of my feelings for him yet. He said that he knew he loved me within the first like couple months, but for me personally, it took me a bit to understand what was going on in my brain and my heart. Unfortunately for us, in his situation, he had to go to a university out of the country. So at that 2-month period when he told me that he'd be leaving for university, I cried. I think that's when I knew my feelings for him, knew I loved him. And I would say there's different levels of love. Like there's the shallow, like, oh, I love you, honey, like la la la, like at the first couple months, like you're just kind of so enthralled with each other. And then it gets worse and worse, and you just love this person. You throw yourself in front of a bus, stab yourself in the face, like you do anything for this man. I understand that now, but at 2 months I didn't. So at 2 months I was freaking out, and I was like, what am I gonna do? This is horrible. How dare he? Why would he get me in a relationship if he just knew he was gonna leave it? And for me, I thought once he leaves, that's done. Like I'll be done then. Like that's enough for me. And then months went on. I felt deeply sucking me down into this vortex, and I just could not escape, and I did not want to. Like there's many times where I would just sit at home and cry because I would know that one day I would lose him. And I realized that the more I blamed him for it, the more I was upset about it, the more it kind of started to affect our relationship. I wouldn't tell him when I was upset. I didn't want to make him feel bad because I knew it was not his fault. This was not his first choice. We're only 18 years old. This is my first relationship. This is his longest relationship. We are entering university and our lives, and realistically, he and I might not make it for the rest of our life. So we had to take that into account. We had to realize that we can't work our lives around each other. We have to work our lives together. I want to be an occupational therapist. He wants to be an architect. I have those resources available to me conveniently right in my neighborhood. My parents gave me the opportunity to choose whatever university I wanted to. They let me choose my programs. They let me choose everything by myself, and they gave me the financial aid to be able to do that. And I understand that what my parents have had to go through to put me into school. His family knows what's best for him. They want what's best for him. They can provide the best for him, and he has to take that opportunity. It's hard to understand, like, well, why wouldn't he fight his family for me? Like, why wouldn't he try, and blah blah blah. And he did try, but at the same time, this is his life plan. This is his life. This is not the couple show. This is individual people working together to acquire a certain goal in their lives that will eventually end up together again. And once you understand that, once you realize that the world does not revolve around you two as a couple, it revolves around you as individual people progressing and living and growing, and then coming together and doing whatever you're gonna do then. That is what a relationship at this age is supposed to be. When you're 27 or 30 or 35, then you'll be financially stable. If you have to do long distance, then it's way easier. I'm working 2 jobs right now to save up so that he and I can travel together eventually. He is saving up so that he can travel with me eventually, and his schooling is freaking expensive. So it's just hard. But when you're older and you're mature and you develop and you have a life together, then you can work a plan to eventually live together. Right now, you need to focus on yourself. This is your time to progress as a human, as a woman, as a man. This is when you need to grow up and get your life started so that you can be prepared to live with your significant other in the future. No relationship works if you're not working as a unit. If one person is trying to follow this person all the way around the world, giving up their entire lives just to be with this person, that is great, that's very romantic, but what are you gonna do then? You have no job, you have no education, you have no family, you probably lost some friends just giving up everything for this person. And although I would give everything to my boyfriend, I can't. He needs me to be stable for him. He needs me to have a support system. He needs me to have a job. He needs me to grow as a woman. And I can't do that if I leave everything to follow him. And no one should do that. When you're in a relationship, it's not 2 people thriving off each other. It's 2 people working and living together. That's why I always say, when you're in a relationship, don't dump your friends. Do not skip school. Do not throw all your money away on this person, because if you do and it doesn't work out, what are you gonna do? When you're preparing for a long distance relationship, you have to keep your life going. You have to know what you're gonna do when they're not there anymore. I have 2 jobs. I have amazing friends. I have an amazing family as a support system. I go to school. I work. I have pets. I have hobbies. I have something to do. That doesn't necessarily make it any easier, but I have a life with him and without him. So if something happens, I can continue on with my life. It doesn't stop just because they're not there anymore. Now, it may feel like the world is completely stopped and gone to shit around you, but trust me, it will get better. In any situation, once you hit the ground, the only thing to do is get back up.